What's up, good people? Bernard Riley back in here with some more of this Black Media Mayhem. You see what's going on in the title. You see what's going on in the thumbnail. So let's stop the music. Let's get on into this. Monique is using dirty cancel culture tactics against DL Hughley. Now, for those of you who've been kind of living under a rock and don't really know what's going on between DL Hughley and Monique, I did a video breaking down their entire beef with all the receipts in chronological order. So if you haven't seen any of that, I recommend you go watch that video and come back. But otherwise, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the cancel culture tactic that she's using is predicated on something that happened back with Don Imus. For those that don't know, Don Imus he's an old white man. There's no other way to describe him. I don't know how else to describe him. He's just an old white man who said something that was perceived as racist about Rutgers basketball team. He called them some nappy head 304s, and he got perp walked through the court of public opinion and got canceled. Even that was before cancel culture. He got canceled. He lost the job, but then he ended up getting a better job because getting canceled made him more popular, and the whole works. Now, DL Hughley back then went on Jay Leno's show, and he responded to it, in a comedic way. He cracked some jokes about it. And Monique is using those jokes, and I'm going to play the clip for it real soon, but Monique is using those jokes to try to get him canceled today for jokes that he made back in 2007. And she's a comedian, and comedians have always made jokes about things that were offensive, things that were painful, things that hurt. The best comedians have always done that. They've always unapologetically made jokes about some of the most offensive things. They stood in it, they did it unapologetically, and they didn't care if it came back to slap them in the face.
And then let's face it, you know, he called those nappy-headed hoes, and they weren't hoes. But it was some nappy-headed women on that team. Shut up, I'm gonna say it, I don't give a damn, y'all like it or not, you know it's true. Them are some of the ugliest women I ever seen in my whole life.
Thank you, good night, everybody. Ross here, thank you.
Now, this is Monique's response to that. She says, "Tell me, what part of what he said was funny? This is classic DL Hughley. Cruel for no reason. The only thing that I ask some black women is, how do you protect a black man who not only won't protect you, but he'll recklessly attack you too?" Now, stay tuned because it actually gets worse than that. But that right there, that's cancel culture 101. That's cancel culture 101. Y'all heard what he said. Yes, I understand how that's offensive to some people, but at the end of the day, he was making jokes about the physical appearance of some women. Something that he has always done, something that many comedians have always done. Nobody's safe when it comes to a lot of the best black comedians. They let everybody have it. We know how that goes. We know how that is. She's taking what was okay in a certain context and using it for her own agenda right now. And her agenda right now is to try to get DL Hughley canceled, to try to take his words and throw them in the face of black women, to try to weaponize black women against him, assuming that black women make up 50% of his audience at least. That's what she's trying to do. And it gets even worse than that because she took another clip of DL Hughley when he was critical of Bill Cosby. He was very critical of Bill Cosby, but he was critical of Bill Cosby in the name of making a larger point that saying that no matter how much we like a man, no matter how much, we look up to him, respect him, and honor and revere him in any way, it doesn't matter. He was saying that if this person did something wrong, we have to call it out and we have to stand in it. And he used the example. He used a tough example of a man who he was friends with. He was close friends with somebody, and his daughter brought up to him that, hey, this guy did something to me. He didn't explain exactly what it was, but he said he second guessed his daughter because of what he believed about this particular man. He thought that his daughter was mistaken about what happened. That's a tough one, and he owned it and said that he can never take that back. But he was telling that story of how he dropped the ball to embolden people to essentially believe women when they tell you something happened to him. He was basically making a feminist leaning believe all women argument. But she tried to take that and flip that around to try to say that, look at him. He won't even protect his own daughter. You think he cares about you? This is how he feels about black women. She's going that far into that extreme with it. She's going to that extreme with this thing, all because of a personal contract dispute, which could have been handled behind the scenes. She's doing all this. So I go back to D.L. Hughley's original statement on all of this. He said that she's now proving Tyler Perry right, Oprah right, Lee Daniels right, Charlemagne right, Netflix right. I'm having a hard time remembering everybody that she's had a problem with. Add DL to the list. It's getting ridiculous at this point. She's trying to get him canceled while meanwhile canceling herself. But that's all I got on this one. That was another trip through this Black Media Mayhem. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Give me your thoughts and views, perspective. The best comment get pinned to the top. And with that said, we are out of here. Peace.